live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Joining to you live from the National News Studios. This is the National News Broadcast. I am Malsha Dharmawardana together with Niket Karunaratne. The number of students who are given the midday meal will be doubled. Accusations leveled stating short-sighted decision led to the collapse of vehicle importers and selling. 30 million rupees allocated to prepare the new constitutional draft bill. Applications call to recruit 3 members to the Constitutional Council who are not parliamentarians. A travel ban imposed on State Minister Diana Gamage. 6 convicts of Rajiv Gandhi assassination case acquitted. On to those and other stories in detail now, starting with your local stories. Minister Susil Premajayantha says that the Ministry of Education is taking measures to double the number of students given the midday meals.
He said that 1.1 million school students are given the midday meal at present. The minister said that the President has obtained the cabinet approval to establish a fund in this regard. The government allocates 4 billion rupees to provide the midday meal for school students. The program receives support from the World Food Programme and the Chinese government's material aid. The minister said that it has been decided to establish a fund to double the number of beneficiaries. Plans have been made to provide school stationery and exercise books for next year for students receiving the Samruddhi subsidy. The minister said that although 4.5 billion rupees have been allocated to print textbooks, it costs 16.5 billion rupees. China will provide 70% of the uniform material and the government will purchase the remaining quantity. Uniform material from China is scheduled to be received by the country between December and January. Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa said that Mahapula and scholarships have not been received by university students. Minister Susil Premajayantha says that there are 140,000 students in state universities, out of which Mahapula is given for 110,000. There was an arrears of 3 months, but now it has been covered. Payments are being made from August.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe says the IMF has requested not to release the agreement reached between Sri Lanka and the leading agency until the current round of negotiations are completed. Addressing the Parliament yesterday, the President promised to inform the Parliament on the IMF agreement as soon as the negotiation process concludes.
It won't be too late. We are working accordingly. Easily, Dr. Harsha can go and ask them. He went and asked them also before he made this statement. So we will keep you informed. There's something in this thing. We have told you. They have given us targets. So that won't change. We have to go up a 4-year program. We have to go up to original one of 14.5 or 15%. And while we are looking at that. The budget is to try and accelerate it so that we can have higher growth rate and certainly more development and investment. So look at the targets the IMF has given and see how we can increase it. That's what I want the budget. But certainly on this we'll keep you informed.
For Mr. General.
If the agreement is tabled before the budget, it will be very helpful. Then we will know where we are heading.
I don't. IMF says don't release it till we finish this round of negotiations. It won't be. Don't worry. We are not. I mean, I won't put anyone into trouble. No, agreement has been signed and finished. We must get the others to sign. If there's a change, we'll come back to you and tell you. But so far, we don't know what China and India has to say, I don't think. No, I stand by that. Yeah. But this is not only one that we have done. We have to go to, there are other parties. 3 other parties we have to discuss. And then the private creditors. So there was no intermediate stage. But I can keep you brief and the targets are there. The targets won't change. So you can look at it and tell us.
Speaker Mahindayapa Abeyewardena says that the Supreme Court of Sri Lanka has determined that the Value-Added Tax Amendment Bill is inconsistent with the Constitution. The Speaker, addressing the Parliament yesterday, said that the bill could be moved with the required amendments.
Being moved at the committee stage of Parliament as proposed by the learned Deputy Solicitor General, the bill as a whole is not inconsistent with the provisions of the Constitution. Number 1, clause 3, the insertion of following proviso in section 10(1) within inverted commas provided further for the
The Vehicle Importers Association says that vehicle importation and selling industry completely collapsed due to the short-sighted decision of certain state officials and politicians without discussion. Chairman of the association, Indika Sampath, said if not, the industry could have been maintained at certain levels amid the economic crisis. The Vehicle Importers Association has pointed out the present collapse has occurred due to taking arbitrary decisions without discussions with those who are engaged in vehicle imports and selling. The association said certain persons in the business field also joined with some officials with taking those unwise decisions. The vehicle market was protected with the importation of new vehicles. There are about 400 imports in the industry. The association said the price of vehicles in the market was under control due to imports. He said that although they held discussions with the government to prevent a collapse of the industry, there was no positive response. Meanwhile, price increase of registered vehicles is gradually coming down. Number of reasons including bank loans, increase of leasing rates, credit limits, disruption of businesses of selling vehicles, increase of people leaving for overseas and stability of demand and supply in the market have led to the situation. Market reports reveal that vehicle prices are decreasing weekly.
2.
The intellectuals have appreciated the speech delivered by President Ranil Wickremesinghe at the COP27 International Summit on Climate Change.
The President drew attention to many issues that are affecting developing countries. The summit took place at Sharm el-Sheikh Resort over the past 2 weeks. They discussed on getting broad participation of developed countries to overcome the situation. The President requested the global community to establish an international university on climate change in Sri Lanka. It was emphasized that powerful countries should pay compensation for the countries affected by climate change. He said that G7 and G20 countries chasing after fossil fuels cannot be accepted. He pointed out that developed countries are neglecting their duties on financial contribution. The President expressed his views on spending on the Ukraine war without completing the pledged $100 billion annually for a reserve.
Audit Report 2021 states that more than 30 million rupees have been spent in 2020 and 2021 to prepare a new constitutional draft bill. The report has said although it was scheduled to be completed in 6 months, it is not being completed even after 1 year and 4 months. The committee has met first time in October 2020 to prepare the new constitutional draft bill. The audit report states more than 20 million rupees have been spent for 38 committee meetings and for the 9 discussions with external stakeholders. 1,250,000 have been spent for renting 3 office rooms which have not been used and 4 office stationery. 3.1 million rupees have been paid for the experts to attend the Constitutional Draft Committee and 120,000 as travel expenses. The audit report has said 1.2 million rupees have been paid as the monthly allowances of the committee secretary, 600,000 rupees as the monthly coordination allowance and 2,560,000 rupees as the research assistance allowance. 10,180,000 rupees have been paid by 31st December 2021 and the payment have been made without Treasury approval.
On further news, there are only 3 more days to present the budget for 2023. This story looks at what entrepreneurs expect from this budget.
To October 1st.
ஆம்புலன்ஸ் வண்டிக்கு இடம் கொடுப்பது மனிதாபிமானத்தின் கடமையாகும். உயிரொன்று, உயிரொன்று, உயிரொன்று. இதுதான் ஒலி. விடுங்க வழி.
So what's your name and where do you come from?
Bandarawela, Sachini Kaushalya.
And can you tell me what ingredients you've used in your dish?
Isso, malu, bandakka, wattakka, rabu, green peas, mungata and red rice sugar.
Well, the presentation looks lovely. I can't wait to try some. It's delicious. That's lovely. The prawns are excellent. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome back. And taking a look at that story again, with 3 days left for the budget, we'll see what entrepreneurs have expected from this budget.
As business leaders, it's quite natural to think that this budget will offer various concessions to the people and to the business community in particular. But this is not an environment within which government can extend facilities and various concessions to the business community. Given the economic downturn the world is going through and Sri Lanka is going through, it is rather unrealistic to think that government is in a position to extend such concessions and tax reductions reductions and duty reductions, etc. That won't be possible. So therefore, as the business community at this moment of time, all what we expect is a stable economy for which the government through the budget proposals will have to come up with some very strong decisions in order to create that stable environment, and within which as business leaders certainly we need to play our strategies right in order to keep making a contribution towards the country's economic recovery. Of course, in the medium to long term, the business community would expect duties to go down, taxes to go down, where more robust business can happen, and with that certainly we'll be able to get back to where we were, not just get back to where we were, but go beyond that. And I'm very positive that our future will be a good one, and for Sri Lanka to be able to get there, this budget will certainly bring about some good proposals to stabilize economy.
Meanwhile, 7 new ambassadors and high commissioners handed over their credentials to President Ranil Wickremesinghe this morning at the Presidential Secretariat. New ambassadors have been appointed to Mexico, Bhutan, Paraguay, Luxembourg, Russia, Oman, France, and High Commissioner has been appointed to Ghana. Frederick Salas Loffy has been appointed as the new Mexican ambassador. Rin Chen Quensil, the new Bhutan ambassador. Fleming Raul Dotte is the new Paraguay ambassador, and Kwaku Azoma is the new Ghana High Commissioner. Peggy Fensen is the new Luxembourg ambassador. Levin Segrin, the new Russian ambassador. Ahmed Al-Said Al-Rishad is the new Oman ambassador, and John Fanco is the new French ambassador.
On further news, it has been decided to call applications to appoint 3 members to the Constitutional Council who are not parliamentarians by publishing a newspaper advertisement. The decision has been taken during a discussion at the parliamentary complex yesterday. Now, Speaker Mahinda Abevarthana, Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena, Opposition Leader Sajit Premadasa and the President's nominee of the Constitutional Council, Minister Nimal Siripala de Silva, attended the discussion. The Prime Minister and the Opposition Leader agreed to submit names of parliamentarians to the Speaker soon. The newspaper advertisement to select 3 members who are not parliamentarians will be published in the daily and weekend newspapers. The model application will be published in the official website of the Parliament. It was decided yesterday to appoint a subcommittee consisting of the representatives of all organizations to compile policies to ensure food security. It was decided at the National Subcommittee on Identifying Short, Medium and Long-Term Policy Compilation. The chairman of the subcommittee is Parliamentarian Namal Rajapaksa. Lengthy discussions have taken place on prevailing obstacles and policy changes to achieve targets related to food security. Attention was also paid on entrepreneurship and encouraging investments when compiling national policies. Meanwhile, the first report on the subcommittee to identify economic stabilization programs and the summary report of the progress of the subcommittee on identifying priorities when compiling national policies were handed over yesterday to the National Council by its chairman, MP Patali Champikaranavaka. The summary report of the subcommittee on identifying priorities on short, medium and long-term national policy compilation was handed over to its chairman, Parliamentarian Namal Rajapaksa. The Speaker said steps will be taken to provide the reports to all members after tabling them in Parliament. The Prime Minister said that the important recommendations would be considered and implemented as soon as possible.
Assistant Governor of the Central Bank, J.R.R. Karunaratne, says that financial literacy of the people should be enhanced. He said it could prevent many financial frauds.
52% of the overall financial sector. However, the NBFI sector plays a very important role in the overall economic growth in the country by channeling the required credit to the much more important MSME sector in the country. The MSME sector in the country contributes about 52% of the overall growth in the economy. However, the banking sector facilitation to this particular sector is very less compared to the NBFI sector. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka last year initiated the country's National Financial Inclusion Strategy Framework, which consists of 4 pillars: MSME finance, digital finance and payments, financial literacy, and consumer protection. I think all of those 4 pillars are very important for our sector. A few weeks ago, the recent financial literacy survey results were launched. So we have improved ourselves around 36% in 2014 to around 58% 2021. So this is a great achievement. So if we can improve the financial literacy, I think we can solve many problems which we face today. Because we hear a lot of unauthorized deposit taking institutions as opposed to the formal financial sector, banks and NBFIs, where the people trapped and has caused significant problems and social issues.
The chairman of the National Delimitation Committee, Mahinda Deshapriya, says that elections will not be postponed due to the delimitation program. The chairman mentioned this as a reply to accusations that local government elections may be postponed due to the appointment of the National Delimitation Committee. Now, Chairman of the National Delimitation Committee, Mahinda Deshapriya, said that the Elections Commission has the power to call nominations to conduct the local government elections. There will not be a change in the voting system. Electoral divisions will be reduced. The Elections Commission is aware about the time period. They can be prevented only by a court decision or through a parliamentary act. There is no impact to postpone the election due to delimitation activities.
Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says that cultivation needs for Ayurveda system should be included in government's cultivation drive.
The Prime Minister mentioned this during the 90th anniversary celebration of the Government Ayurveda Doctors Association. The importance of Ayurveda for disease prevention was emphasized on the occasion. The Prime Minister said that the government has implemented programs on food security to prevent and cure diseases. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena said that priority has been given for the food security program. According to the decision taken, more than 100,000 acres will be released for cultivation. It should include cultivations needed for Ayurvedic practices. A methodical program should be followed to earn foreign exchange. The Government Ayurveda Doctors Association and the Ministry should take the lead. The Government Ayurveda doctors were presented with awards during the function. A group of people, including State Minister Sisira Jayakodi and MP Vajira Abeyewardena, were present on the occasion.
Meanwhile, a travel ban has been imposed on State Minister Diana Gamage until 17th of this month. The State Minister expressed her views during a media briefing today in connection with the promotion of tourism industry. Colombo Chief Magistrate Nandana Amarasinghe has given the order after considering a motion filed by a group of people, including Attorney at Law Gunaratna Vanninayaka. The motion was taken up before the Colombo Chief Magistrate today. Attorney at Law Gunaratna Vanninayaka said that CID has commenced an investigation into the birth certificate, national identity card and the passport of State Minister Diana Gamage. He said that there is reliable information. Mrs. Gamage was trying to flee the country tonight. He pointed out if that happens, the investigation cannot be conducted.
Firecracker industry is facing a crisis due to the shortage of raw material. The state sector taking over from the private sector and importation of chemical raw material has led to this crisis. There are about 250 firecracker factories registered under the Ministry of Defence. 80% of those are situated at Negombo, Kimulapitia area. It provides direct and indirect employment for about 50,000 people. Productions of 70% of those factories have been suspended. The Afarall Island firecracker producers said nearly 30,000 have lost their jobs as a result. 2 of the chemical components are imported by the State Trading Corporation. When asked the corporation, they said they would give their views to media on Monday.
Singer Lata Walpola celebrates her 88th birthday today. The national television wishes her a very happy birthday. Matarage Rita Rennery Fernando was born as the 3rd child of Elizabeth Muriel and Joseph Linus on the 11th of November 1934 at Davalagiri House in Bambalapitiya. She was the leader of the church choir. She became a child artist at Radio Ceylon at the age of 12. She sang the first song Kandulu Denete in 1974 at the Radio Ceylon on an invitation from Vincent de Alves. She became a popular singer by 1950 and entered the cinema field in 1952. She became more popular by the film Prematarage, screened in 1953. She has sung over more than 600 film songs. She has won Sarasavi Awards 4 times and a Lifetime Award for the service rendered on Sinhala cinema. She received Kalasuri Award in 2005 and Deshamanya Award in 2017. She has won many other awards including Deepashika, Swarna Sankar, Swarna Hansa and President Silver Jubilee Cinema Awards. Lata Walpola will sing in the Sandaru Suyame program tomorrow, which will telecast at 9:30 p.m. over the national television.
Lata Walpola sings in the Sandaru Suyame program directed by Ranga Premaratna. The program will be telecast at 9:30 p.m. tomorrow over the national television.
දෙකක් තුනක් රීටා ජෙනෙවි කියලා දැම්මා. ඒක කියනවා ඉතින් ඒක ටිකක් දිග වැඩි.
ඒ කියන්නේ එතනින් තමයි දැන් රීටා ජෙනෙවි
දාමද කියලා.
The Construction Development Industry Authority has introduced a new identity card named Shilpa for those who are engaged in construction industry. The new identity card was issued under the patronage of Minister Prasanna Ranatunga at the authority premises in Battaramulla. The new identity card includes 22 benefits. Certificates were awarded to the workers who successfully achieved skill levels.
Steps have been taken to issue long-term visas for foreigners who purchase luxury apartments. The inauguration ceremony took place yesterday at the Sri Lanka Board of Investment premises. The Cabinet has approved to issue long-term visa following requests for a long time from the persons who purchase such apartments. The aim is to encourage investors for such housing projects and foreigners to purchase the luxury apartments. The ceremony took place under the patronage of State Minister Dilu Mamunugama. And that's a wrap of local news. Stay tuned for foreign news after this short break.
Prima Stella Set Yogurt.
ජය ගන්න වැඩි වෙන්න.
Welcome back. Taking a look at your international story. The Supreme Court of India today ordered for the immediate release of 6 convicts who are serving life sentence for more than 3 decades in Rajiv Gandhi assassination case. The 6 convicts are Nalini, Ravichandran, Jayakumar, Suten Triraj, Shantan, Murugan and Robert Pius. A benchmark of justices noted that the Tamil Nadu State Cabinet has recommended their premature release on the governor in September 2018. The governor, instead of taking a call, had passed on their files to the centre. The governor was bound by the advice of the cabinet in case of murder as their convictions under the now lapsed Terrorism and Disruptive Activities Act were set aside by the Apex Court.
Now, Ukrainian flags have appeared in the key southern city of Kherson after Russia said it had completed its withdrawal of troops. All Russian soldiers were moved across the Dnipro River to the eastern bank early this morning, the defense ministry in Moscow said. No military equipment or weapons were left behind on the west bank, Moscow's statements added. Kherson remains the only regional capital to have been captured by Russia since the invasion began in February, so losing it is a significant blow.
Prima Stella Set Yogurt.
ජය ගන්න වැඩි වෙන්න.
Welcome back. Taking a look at your sports news. Now, the weightlifter Dilanka Isurukumara has established 2 Commonwealth records and 3 Sri Lankan records at the National Weightlifting Championship in Polonnaruwa.
Dilanka competed under the 55 kilogram weight category. He lifted 116 kilograms on the snatch, 141 kilograms on the clean and jerk, with a total of 257 kilograms. These are considered as new Sri Lankan records. 116 kilograms lifted under the snatch and the total 257 lifted are considered as Commonwealth records.
And focusing your attention to some cricket, Sri Lankan all-rounder Wanidhu Hasaranga has been included in the list of 9 names recommended by the International Cricket Council for the Man of the Series awards in the T20 World Cup.
2 Indian players, 3 England players, 2 Pakistan players, 1 Zimbabwe player and Sri Lanka's Wanidhu Hasaranga have been recommended. The list includes Indian cricketers Virat Kohli and Surya Kumar Yadav, and England cricketers Sam Curran, Joss Butler and Alex Hales. Pakistan players Shadab Khan and Shaheen Shah Afridi and Zimbabwe all-rounder Sikandar Raza have also been included in the recommended list.
And here's some happy news for all the football players. There are only 9 more days for the FIFA World Cup. The national television is the official broadcaster of the series, which commences on the 20th.
Scheduled to be held at this stadium. It includes 6 preliminary round matches, 1 match of the last 16 rounds and a match to select the 3rd place.
Prima Stella Set Yogurt.
ජය ගන්න වැඩි වෙන්න.
And with that, we conclude tonight's news on Rupavahini. Do join us tomorrow at the very same time. Good night.
Good night.